Where are you?
I'm high up on a cliff, mountain overlooking a valley.
Beautiful. And I want you to just look down and what are you standing on?
It's like a shelf almost on the top of the mountain.
Very nice. And look at your form down at your feet and your body. What do you, what do you look like?
I'm a bird.
Oh, very nicely. And just hold your wings in front of you. Just, and what type of bird or what color are your feathers?
Or black, brown, and very shiny.
Beautiful. And I want you to look behind you, and there is a beautiful reflection. It's magical, but I want you to look at yourself and tell me what type of bird do you think you are?
I'm a big owl, very big owl.
Very good. And let's just go ahead and face the other direction, overlooking the valley below. And I want you to take off and tell me how you feel.
Oh, I just soar effortless out over the valley, just floating up the upwinds that blowing up of the surface of the mountain.
Ah, beautiful.
I'm high, high up over the treetops, but I can see everything that's happened down
And what do you see down there below you? Describe everything, please.
there. It's a valley between two mountain ridges. There's a river floating through the entire length of the valley, and there are forests, but it's open space beside of the river, grassy plains. I see a lot of animals, big elks, mooses. I see bears, and I think it's a pack of wolves
And
up
as
in the distance.
Oh, very nice. And as you look and you see all of these different type of animals here in this beautiful place, they're all in different separate areas, correct?
Yes,
And can you see any water or lakes or any type of water below you?
it's a river
Oh, beautiful.
flowing rapidly, but not. It's not rapid. It's just very fast flowing because it's a slope here in the valley.
And how is the river? Is it a young river? Is it very curvy or is it look like it's just going straight? Is it?
No, it's a little bit curvy, long sweeping curves,
Oh, very nice.
very clear, crystal clear water, almost turquoise in the color, and it's all kind of life surrounding this water.
Beautiful. And do you see any human beings?
I think there is a settlement of humans further down this valley.
Very nice. I'd like you to go ahead and travel in that direction. And I'd like to see what these human beings or what type of life they're living in this place. It sounds like paradise.
I'm diving down and just soaring a little bit above the water. I see myself flying in the reflection from the water.
How's that?
Oh, it's nice. I'm really fast. And now I'm lifting up again. Oh, it's a nice feeling. I can do whatever I want here.
Pure freedom, huh?
Yes.
Do you see any other birds or anything in the air as you're flying?
Yes, I see a flock of geese eating grass beside the river. I can see small birds. I hear the birds chirping. And I can see a lot of animals together, buffaloes and elks, just mixed up in a big herd.
Ah, interesting.
It's almost like we can connect. We are all very old. A very old place.
When you say very old, linearly, how old would you think an Earth time, an our Earth time?
Thousands of years ago. Thousands of years.
And so that means, do you feel like you've been incarnated in that particular body for thousands of years, or they have just been in that space for that long, or in this place for that long?
It's been untouched from exploration and all is living in harmony. But there can be some violence when the predator comes in, as they do from time to time.
And what is the predator in this space?
Wolves and bears.
Oh, very good.
Mostly wolves.
And so do you know where you are? Are you on the Earth?
Yes.
Are you same vibrational density as we are here in the third dimension? Do you know?
No, I don't know, but it feels different because we are all aware of that we are connected, all the animals.
I believe all animals, even here and now, know that they're connected.
Yes.
It's just humans who have the problem.
Yes.
So let's find this settlement then, please.
Yes, I'm arriving there.
And as you arrive, I'd like you to tell me what the settlement looks like, how primitive or how advanced, whatever you can.
It's rather primitive. It's like I don't think they are Indians, but they live almost like Indians in a primitive huts, but they look like Inuits, Eskimos.
Ah, Eskimos.
Yes.
You say Eskimos because is there snow and ice there, or?
Just on the mountain top, but they seems very exposed for the elements, and the skins are very tough and I don't know.
How are the, you say leathery, huh?
Yes, exactly.
And what are the huts shaped like? Are they, well, I'll just
It's
let you.
almost like that kind of teepees, but they are not so very tall. They're a little smaller, but they are poles, raised poles that are covered with hides. So it's like a teepee.
Oh, very good. And you see men, women, and children?
Yes,
And what type of activities are they performing?
they are they're cooking outside several of their teepees or their tents, and they have a big fire in the center. They have it also for be able to see in the evening.
So, what time of day is it right about now?
It's getting dark, so I think it's late afternoon.
And so, I guess that they would be amongst the predators as well.
Yes, but they collect a lot of things out of nature, fruits, vegetables, and seeds.
And as you look, does it look like there's anywhere where they may possibly even grow crops or anything to that effect? Gardens or.
Not really, but there is a spot behind the little village where it seems like they have been growing something. It's bare dirt and no grass there.
Okay. And do they have any animals there with them in this space?
No, I can see them.
No. Okay. No horses or.
No horses.
Very good.
There's something in the edge of the forest that seems like uh, I think they are reindeers there. Maybe they are connected to this village. Reindeer is a little herd, and they are surrounded by a fence. They made the fence out of just some trees. So they have a herd of reindeers there. It's about 10, 11, 12. It's 14 reindeers.
So it's probably what their huts are made of, possibly their clothing, and maybe even something they feed on as well.
Yes. I think they use them to transport things also, because they have some drugs they can attach to the reindeers, so they can drag some. I think they use them for power to drag heavy things.
Understood. So they've been domesticated of.
I think so, because they two children standing there feeding them with fresh grass and apples.
Excellent. And as you're flying around, there's something that you're supposed to connect with there, someone or something. And I want you to just tell me how you feel as you're soaring and take me where you naturally would go to make this connection.
they see me and they acknowledge me, and the children look at me and see or smiling and very happy.
Oh, very good.
There's some sort of a table I made I can land on.
Oh, okay, very good. And I want to see what the reaction to you is when you land. But if it seems like they're going to hunt you or something, I want you to just magically be as high in the air as you possibly could be in safety.
No, I don't feel any hostility. I only feel that they are happy that I'm there.
Oh, very good. And as you've landed, what happens then?
The women started to chant and sing. They sing.
What does it sound like? Can you mimic it? Any of it?
Hi, hi. They're looking at me and smiling. They recognize me. They're talking to me.
How do you feel as they recognize you, as they acknowledge you?
It feels like they have very big respect for me. That I am important to them.
And as they're communicating with you, what are they saying? What do you sense that they're communicating?
It's like they're sending a lot of prayers. Prayers to the past spirits. They know that I can connect to their past loved one. So I am a messenger for them. I come with greetings for them. I come with love to them.
Is there any one in particular of this group of women that will channel your information to the rest, or do they all seem to receive it?
No, there's a very old man coming forward.
Oh,
I
beautiful.
sit down just in front of this little table where I'm standing. He sits with his legs crossed, and he put forward his hands, and he just hold his hands in front of him, showing his palms of the hands for me. It's a way to say that he wants to talk to me.
Oh, very good. And go ahead and do what you would naturally do and tell me how this communication takes place, and if you feel a message coming on to share with them. And take a long, slow, deep breath. Inhale deeply. Make the connection as gently as you can.
He asked me a question of the future of their tribe, if they are able to prosper where they are now, and they feeling that something is changing.
And what is your innate response?
I say that the change is natural and it's nothing to fear, just a change in the structure of their inner. It's a change of their inner structure as being, because they are their DNA strands are turning on.
Are they going through a process of ascension?
Yes, they're going into a new age where they're going to receive a lot of new knowledge and understanding, and they are a little afraid of what's happening.
How are they interpreting the feelings that they're getting? What do you get from that? Their fear. What is?
They feel it confused. He expressed for me that he's a little afraid because so many spirits have been talking directly with him in a way that he haven't experienced before. And I wonder if I come with the spirits to them, or he wants to know if the spirits that come are there for the good of them, or if they are showing up as an enemy to the tribe. And I assure him that there is only good spirits surrounding them. And I try to show him in his mind what is happening. He has no conception of DNA. He doesn't know what that is. He just feels that there's changing going on.
And how is he receiving your? Is he clairvoyant? Is he able to visualize what you're projecting to him?
Yes, he's a shaman of this tribe. He's one of the elder, and he's very connected to his higher self all the time. He
holds a high vibration.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
Good. Very, very good.
They all have a very high vibration, but this man has been around for a long, long time.
How old do you think he is in their linear expression? Oh.
Over 100. I think 120 years.
And how does he appear? Does he appear very wrinkled, or does he still look like he has a youthful?
Oh, he's very strong and full of energy. It doesn't seem like he's wrinkled, and he has gray hair. No beard or anything, but long gray hair. But he seems very strong.
Can you see the auras of these people in the form you're in?
Yes. I see them for what they are. They are lovely, connected people that are very, very aware of their place in the nature. They living close to the nature, and this is showing up because it's important for us now in this timeline also to connect back to that.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
I have been a member of this tribe in my earlier life. Before I decided to incarnate as a messenger, a bird, I was a member of that tribe.
Excellent. And is there any way that you could possibly tell the time frame of when you think this is taking place. Is it a, a far past or
It's far past, but it's also showing a little glimpse of what we can perceive in the future if he said get our act together. Yes.
who said?
He
Who said
said
this?
he's
Yeah.
the old man said we need to get the act together. He's really connected to what's happening.
Ah, very good. And so, is he familiar? Is he seeing into the future, or in which dimension? What dimension are you in? Please, if that will come to you.
5.
Ah, excellent. So in 5D, they can look back onto the planet Earth and see.
He can perceive a lot. He's very intuitive and he yes, he's very full of knowledge that have passed down in generation to him also. How things are connected and how it's meant to be, that we have to see ourselves as a part of a bigger community. And
Very good.
yes, he's
My,
very aware of that.
my ancestors on both my dad and my mom's side have Native American or Native American. I don't know what the continent that uh, this place is on. It sounds like the Americas, um, just with the buffalo and
Yes, I think it's North Alaska or Canada or something.
oh, very good. Excellent. So, is there anything else that you'd like to receive there? If not, we're going to move forward here.
It was important in my knowledge that I would like to show this for everyone that feel disconnected. That is the only thing that disconnects us from this pristine, clean environment is with ourselves. It is just inside of us. We just have to release all belief systems that have been fed into us as manifested on this planet. Because we have that knowledge and can connect back to that. But we need to focus on what we do, what we say, and how we act. Both in front of ourselves and in front of others. In
So,
front of all living beings.
if this group is in 5D now, where are they shifting to? What is the next jump that they take evolutionarily?
They getting more, it's just more knowledge to them to be able to expand into bigger groups that make room for more incarnation back here, for new groups that are supposed to come in to they're coming through in their own will to help with the future of the planet. And
So they're manifesting black back into 3D Earth here with us for this transition that we're going through.
yes, but they're not coming from that dimension, they're coming from a higher dimension. But when they coming down and manifest, they are bound to that frequency that the earth holding on to and their inhabitants holding on to for the moment.
So if they're in 5D, of course they would be coming down. So are you telling me that there are groups from that particular group in 5D that have lowered their vibration to assist and are now bound here, and the communication is trying to they're already here trying to help us raise back up?
They
Or
are coming into the same dimension of 5D, the new groups, but what they're not aware of is that they are going to be manipulated from external groups that have interest in to explore the natural resources.
exploit?
Yes,
That's very good.
and feed out of the abundance that the planet hold on.
They're going to feed from the abundance that the planet holds. So, have they already made already come here and are here trying to get back to there? Or
I'm still in this place, in this dimension, and they knew that it's going to manifest into the fifth dimension, but they are going to be manipulated. Yeah, so they are going to lower, because of that, into a lower density of 3D. They are not there now, but this tribe and others are not aware of what's going to happen in the future. And that has nothing with their doings to do at all. It's coming from the outside.
this is their future, but because they're in a high vibration, they can see. You said they can't see what's coming.
They can't understand what is coming because they have no reference for it.
Very good.
They can't understand what machines are. They have no reference. But they can see it. They can see airplanes, they can see helicopters, they can see excavators, but they don't understand it.
Understood. This is starting really interesting because you're almost setting the foundation for the questions that I have for when I intended for us to do this session. Of course, we're checking out my technique. I've been revising it to make it stronger. So,
I made connections, so you may ask the questions you have.
So they're in 5D. They're in what we would consider our Earth's past, already in a very high vibration, and they're actually going through a process of being able to gain more information. They can see into the future of where we're at, and they see all these things, but yet they don't understand it.
No, that's a part of why they are so confused.
Very good. Very good. And from your perspective as the owl, can you see what comes that lowers the vibration?
Yes.
And that's what I would love for you to share, because that's what I actually did write questions this time, and it's
many different places on this planet. Terra planet is going to get visitors from other dimension and other worlds. They are going to be welcome because the vibration that is holding on here now has not any fear, so they can't see how they are going to be used and exploited in the future. And because of that type of energy coming into this planet, the vibration is going to get lower into a density because of that energy the collective have is going to be affected of what is happening to them.
And this low vibration doesn't, you don't feel that it has direct impact with them at first, but it's landing in other places on the planet and
Yes.
having its effect, and then it slowly expands, and then now, and then,
Yes.
understand
We
what
are
I'm
talking about, I am in a place seeing back at 10,000 years or more,
understood.
maybe 20,000. Anyway, I see that we are going to be exploited from many different races. We are also going to be objects of warfare because different entities coming here with different agenda and wanted different things, and they are between them starting wars, and we are going to get involved in that as species on this planet.
Understood. Okay, this is what I'd like you to do, please. I would like for you to reassure the shaman, shaman or shaman, however you decide to pronounce it, that um, although they can't understand what they're seeing, when they know that the things will change and not so much for the better in time, but at one point we will rise back up again, and all will be well and all will be perfect, to just reassure him. And then I'd like you to drift and float back or fly back to the side of the mountain. We're going to go in another direction, if you would. So tell me when you've.
I'm talking to him and say that this is going to happen for in the future, but they doesn't need to be involved in that. They can choose. They can choose not to be incarnated back in that reality. When they are passing over, they are free souls back to the source and can then decide what they want to do, and they are very much aware of that all have immortal souls.
Excellent.
So it's no problem. But I have children that worry about the children. But I said that it would not happen that suddenly, and it will not happen during the life of their children and grandchildren. It will take a little more time before this is taking place. And it's thanking me, and he gives me a little bit of meat. Feed me.
Excellent.
And he thanks me so much. And the women start singing again. And I'm taking off.
Beautiful. How did it feel to channel that information for that group?
It felt very good, and it felt very authentic and real.
Very responsible, huh?
Yes.
Excellent. What I would like for you to do is to move away from that scene, and I'd like you to move forward into the future, and I'd like you to move into the area of the world where these extra dimensionals and extraterrestrials are coming to the planet, and I'd like for you to be able to actually see them. They won't see you or even know that you're there, but I'd just like to see how this happens, if you would, please. And you're going to be there in a count of 5, 4, 3, halfway there, totally protected, 2, almost there, and 1. Where are you now?
I'm I'm in a village or town with houses made of stones, and it's very hot.
Very good. In my head, I have a feeling where you are, but I'm not going to say. But I just want you to go ahead and look
Yeah,
at yourself. Do you have a form in this place?
yes, I'm a man, a human.
What color is your skin and what are you wearing?
I'm very dark skinned, brown, and I'm wearing sandals on my feet. Now wearing some kind of skirt, almost. And I think I
Did you say scarf?
skirt.
Skirt. Very good. Okay.
Yeah, it's like something wrapped around my waist.
Like a tunic.
Yeah, reaching down to my knees, and the lower part of my legs are bare. And then I just have these sandals on my feet.
And what about the upper part of your body?
I have some kind of shirt that I put over my head. There is no button. I tried it over my upper body.
How old do you feel?
I think I'm about 25.
And the space that you're in, are you inside this stone home or are you outside?
I'm walking the streets. There's a stone paved street, and there's a lot of people around. I think I'm a carpenter
Oh, very
because I have some tools in a belt around me. It's a wooden club and some scissors.
scissors.
No, not scissors. You know, when you carve something out of stones.
Okay.
Scissors.
I'm trying to think of the name of it. You have a mallet and a,
I think you call it sizzle.
yes.
They say sizzling.
Oh, a sickle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a metal thing you use when you carving in stones. So you hit with a mallet to make shape of stones.
Understood. It's really interesting. It leaves it's not on. It's almost on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. But a chisel.
Chisel, yes, chisel,
Chisel,
yeah,
yes. It just popped off on my tongue and out my mouth. Chisel, very good.
yes,
Okay, so can are people acknowledging you or do they see you?
yes, they see me.
What do you think your name is? Just curious.
Rana, Rana.
Very good. And what country comes to mind that you think you're in?
I think I'm in. They look like they are from Egypt.
Yeah, that's the first thing when you got there. That was the first thing that entered my mind. And even before yeah, excellent.
And when they're talking, it sounds like Arabic language.
Very good.
And they are dressed like that. So I think I'm in somewhere in North Africa anyway.
Oh, very good. Um, I'd like to do something a little bit unorthodox, but if you would, and I'm sure you're game, I want you to just float right up into the air, high into the air, and I want you to just look around and tell me, uh, do you see the pyramids?
Yes, I can see them in the distance.
How are they completely built?
Yes, I think so. There's
Are
a
you
little one that not seems completed. Or they
there?
are not little, but comparing to the other three, that is a little one.
Okay, are you still in the air, or can you just see them even before you went into the air?
No, I see them now, are floating high above the city. And
Oh,
the
very,
city is not that big, but it's just on the rim of the big river.
the
And it,
Nile.
I think so.
Yes, that's it for sure.
And they are very narrow streets. They are like a small alleyway
Now,
runs. Yeah, they are very narrow, so you can't go in there with any wagon or something like that. It's
understood.
too narrow.
And while you're there in the air, can you see the Sphinx?
No, I think it's on the other side of of where I see now.
How do you prefer? Do you prefer to be on the ground, or would you?
I can travel there when I'm here flying.
Okay, so let's fly to the other side, and I just want you to tell me what the Sphinx looks like. I think it may be in its original form, and that would be amazing for you to see.
Yes, it is. I'm there. And there is, oh, it's so much bigger. And there are buildings surrounding it, and the foundation is totally different.
Is the Sphinx complete?
Yes.
Very good. And would you prefer, would you like to land? I just want you to land close to it and really give me the visual, or even as you're in the air, can you give me the visual of the platform that it's sitting on?
The platform is very big. It's a big, big square as the foundation, but then it's continue for several hundred yards around. So there are more buildings. And there are several levels under the Sphinx.
You can actually see the levels under the Sphinx?
Yes, I can.
What is
There are people there working.
uh, in a quarry-like scenario, or
They chisel out stones and they are making some repairs, but they're also lining some buildings with almost a white kind of stone, very smooth. I think
uh,
it's some kind of limestone or something like that, but it's very white.
beautiful. And what about the face of the Sphinx?
Yeah, it's like a queen.
So there's a female's face on the Sphinx then.
Yeah, that is the expression I got,
And
showing a female.
the nose isn't blown off or anything.
No.
Ah, beautiful. And the pyramids, are they also covered with this white
Yeah.
limestone or granite?
Yes, they are. They are smooth surface.
And
They
are
are.
you still in the air or have you landed?
I'm on the ground now.
Okay. Now I remember when I had a desire for you to come to this particular place. Well, just go ahead and give me your feeling and description of the Great Pyramids. Uh, Giza, the one on the Cheops is the big, large one on the Giza Plateau, and just describe them and how do you feel being in their presence?
They are. They are symbols for a really powerful kingdom, but it's also built for a purpose for the gods. The gods are using them for communication between where they come from. And
Understood. And the information that you're gathering right now, is it in your memory or is just the feeling that you're gathering from just being in that space?
it's just coming to me. It's almost like it coming from the pyramid itself.
I've been there to Egypt in our time, and I actually went inside the pyramid. Um, there was a room where they called it a sarcophagus, but we know that's not what it really is. Um, how would you like to travel inside this room and really give us a good description of that place?
Yes, I can go in because I'm one of the leader of a group of workers. So I'm like a
Foreman.
yes, a group leader for a big group of workers. So I'm
Excellent.
allowed to exit in
So,
the.
what does the entrance really look like before it was?
It's several entrances. There's one in the ground level. There's one higher up on from where I'm standing on the left side. There are also levels under the ground that are not known to man today.
Do you have
They
access to?
still haven't found it.
Do you have access to those as well?
Yes.
Well, if we could go and they call it the King's Chamber. If we could go in that one first, and then we'll go to the other places later. And just, I remember going up the stairs and everything inside of there. But if you could give me the script on what it's like when it was originally before it was,
It's a rather steep stairway up,
yes.
and it's not high in it. You have to bend down a little bit to go up.
In certain places, yes.
Yes. And that's a purpose because it needed to be that because of the weight of this stones around there, or it
Okay.
should collapse of the weight of the top stones above. And there are
Ex-
6 chambers, and one chamber is in the staircase, but you have to move several stones to get access to that. So that is a secret chamber.
What was that chamber designed for? Do you know?
It should hold some kind of, there should be some kind of technical equipment. Gold, big squares of gold. It's about, I think, 5 feet times 5 feet, and it's almost a feet thick.
Is this gold used as an energy source or as...
Yes,
Oh, very good.
it used to. They polish it and they can hit it with some kind of hammer, or I can't see clearly what it is, but when they hit it, they can levitate. The vibration is the same vibration, so it's cancel out the gravity.
Almost like a tuning fork or a divining rod or something to that effect.
Yes.
But they're not showing you what the shape is, huh? That's interesting.
No.
That's okay. Then if you could go ahead and proceed to the one that we call the King's Chamber in this
Yes.
time frame.
It's a bigger chamber you can go into, and there's a stone foundation made of several slabs of stones, and there's like a lid on top, but it's not anything in there yet. It's made for the rest of the king.
I did a session actually last week, and they were in that chamber, and that was not it was not used as some type of dead king or anything like that. It was totally different.
They use this area and space and gathering for, they are gathering there for some kind of meetings they have to. There's a man here, he won't tell me what they're doing, but he showed me that they're surrounding this big slab of stones, sitting, and I can see he showed me 5, 6, 7 people surrounding this, and they all have their hands, palms on this stone in front of them, holding on there, and they are talking telepathically.
Very good. That's sort of like what that came out in that session. I know when I went there, that top was off of that, and I actually laid down inside of it, and
Yes, this is not decorated in here in any way. It's just smooth. It's just a smooth chamber.
exactly. When I went there before, well, the entrance. Not trying that I'm trying to put you to the test. How was the entrance? I just know it was off to the right.
Yes, to the right, and it's rather narrow entrance. They are going to block that entrance later.
And then you have to, I remember in order to get in there, I had to really duck down and then I could stand up once I got inside.
Yes, you have to crawl in almost.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Interesting.
But
In the
there are
section,
more like this in this pyramid and also in the other pyramid, and there are places that I haven't found out yet.
oh, very good.
And also around these wings is under underneath the pyramids and underneath these wings are many secrets hiding.
When I did the session the last time in one of these chambers, there were people and that were in a group, and then there were these orbs with looked like lightning in it, and they were the people that were in the group were like yourself, like carvers and architects who were getting information, and then they were spreading it all over the planet, uh,
Yes.
learning how to build these structures.
The gods are the messenger that telling us what to do and how to build it, and they have these blueprints for us, and they saying that this is going to connect all the area of the planet. They're going to be in every continent in different shapes. They are going to be in South America.
Yes, under
What is now called South America, and India, Burma. They're saying this name to me, Burma, and
are they like on the ley line, like beacons on the ley lines?
yes, they all connected together like some kind of linkage for transporting whatever they want to transport.
Amazing. So before we actually see or meet these, what they're calling the gods, could you go ahead and go back and go under the Sphinx, and even under the pyramid? You decide which one first, and just give us an idea of what's under there.
I'm not allowed under the pyramid.
Oh, very good.
It's
And what?
very, very, very secret place.
Excellent.
A sacred place.
Yeah. So I was gonna. Yeah. Very good.
A very, it's a holy place where we're not allowed. No mortal is allowed there.
Understood. And what about under the Sphinx?
Yes.
The same.
There is my man working.
Oh, that's where your men are working.
Yes.
What are they working on?
They're making different chambers.
Understood.
There are chambers there for collect. They are going to store valuables there. Uh, valuable stones, gold, metals.
Um, what time before the uh, what time? How far does it come to mind? How far back in time you are, or the
From now it's about 4,700 years.
4,700 years? 4,700 years. The pyramids literally had um, the limestone coverings and everything, polished white,
Yes,
beautiful.
yes.
Excellent. Now, what I like to happen, if possible, is for you to see who these entities are that call themselves the gods, and how they get there and how they communicate. So I'd like you to move into this place and be there in the count of 5, 4, 3, halfway there. 2, almost there. 1, safe and protected and just observing. Or maybe there. Or are you not?
They're coming in shiny chariots through the air.
Literally shaped like chariots?
No, they're shaped like almost like a horseshoe. Not a little more triangle. There's a little pointy in front, and then long sides, and then there's a space in the back that are curved in.
Understood, understood. It's interesting that you said chariot. It's almost as if you were there, like you were. Very good.
I am here.
Oh, I mean, yes, absolutely. And so, how do
They,
they land?
they just set it down. They have some kind of tripods or something under.
Oh, very good.
No, it's a door or a hatch opening under, and they are soaring in the air a couple of feet over the ground.
They're hovering. Very good.
Yes.
And as they come out, I'd like you to give me a descript of what they look like, please.
They're very tall, beaming of light.
They
Big,
have like
big
light.
black eyes.
Oh my.
There are several other species coming also. There are small, leathery skinned species also, like they are gray. They are like they are servant to the bigger one.
And what does the bigger ones? What is its head shape like?
It's shaped like an egg almost, but the top of the head is it's not like an egg, but the face is a little bit stretched. Big black eyes, a very little nose, almost like 2 holes only,
Understood.
and no ears and no hair. And I have some white sheets covering the bodies. They are tall, very
How
tall.
tall would you say compared to the average man there?
At least 4 or 5 feet taller than the average man.
And what do their hands look like, or maybe even their feet?
Very slender body and arms and legs. It's make me smile because I almost think they could be a little wobbly when they're walking, but they're not. They're almost floating and moving very gracefully.
What about their hands? How many fingers can you detect?
No, because the robe is covering their arms and hands.
Oh, very good. And when they land and they come out, where do they go directly?
They just came out of that chariot and stand in front of it, and all work stopped, and everyone fell down on their knees and greeting them as gods, greeting them and welcome them. And some are afraid that they are going to be punished because they are not ready with the work. But it's very hard work that we're doing. But they're helping us with another thing we use is these gold slabs to transport heavy things, and they help us to tune it to the right frequency to levitate this big block of stones.
So I was told, I saw on a show one day, or maybe it was just online, where a guy was saying that the stones were made from some type of concrete with shells, and that's how they were. But you're saying these stones are carved and put together.
No, it's solid rock.
Exactly. Interesting. Very good. And
Solid
how,
rock that are manipulated with the help of, they alter the gravity. But there is still very hard work. There are many slaves working here that are enslaved by the gods and the rich gentleman that is having the contact with these beings, these gods.
are they considered the pharaohs or the higher, the what you would call the aristocrats or
Yes,
ro-
they are all a family of the kings.
oh, very good.
They are, yes, aristocrats. You can call them that.
And so these particular entities are have play a large role in the fall and the vibration on the planet.
Them and other species bring hostility and demands that affect the collective all over this planet.
So as you can see, what color is the skin of the big ones with the big egg heads?
A little bluish.
Ah, interesting. And you have them, and then you have the little gray ones. You said there were several species. What other type of extraterrestrial species are there?
There are also, they are considered being technicians or engineers, that they have the ability to manipulate matter, and they can also do some experiment on the humans. And it's the taller ones that allow this to happen.
Oh my.
And the gray ones is the one that collect the, they say, specimens for exploring and taking advantage of.
Oh my goodness. How does it make you feel to be in their presence?
I'm afraid.
And do you think that this is an expression of yourself that has actually experienced this? An expression of Lars who.
I've been manifested here. Yes.
Oh, very good. I know that I have been told that I've manifested there as well, but as one of those guys with the big heads, though.
I'm trying to make myself as small as possible, almost like I wanted to be invisible, because they can, with just the movement of a hand, collect several humans to use for experiments.
And what happens? They come together, levitate in the air, and are just taken by force as such?
The gray ones almost carry them and collect them.
Or when they are taking them out, do they resist or?
Some try, but they knock them out in some way, because as soon as they start to resist, they just suddenly collapse or be catatonic.
Understood.
It's just like they altered their minds to be unconscious.
And in that form that you're in right now, can you tell what the name of these groups are, or what these groups are considered? I know you say grays, but would this group be considered what we call the Anunnaki?
I don't know.
Oh, very good. That's okay.
They don't tell us anything.
Very, very good.
We are supposed to treat them like gods.
So heads bowed, down on the ground.
Yeah, the face in the sand, the knees and elbows on the ground.
Knees and elbows on the ground. So just while you're there, before we move away from this scene, is there anything else of interest that you think that you could share with what you're looking at and experiencing?
Yes, I know that I'm a part of a conspiracy to free ourselves from their tyranny or the grip they hold on us. It's getting a bigger group to start an uprace, but many are too afraid, because they have powers that we can't understand and don't know where it comes from. I don't consider them as gods. I consider them as bullies. They are just here to exploit us and to get to our resources, and they force us to collect all valuable metals and matter into these different chambers, and they just come and transport it from there. The species that are considered to be engineers are the one that collect all of these items in special chariots or big. It's almost like big boats, but they fly.
And they're taking these resources off planet?
I don't know. They take it away.
Ah, very good. Very good. Thank you very much for that information. And I'd like you to drift away from the scene, drifting and floating away from the scene and leaving everything there. And what I'd like to do is for you to move into the future of this space here and tell me when these entities are conquered and when they're having to leave the planet. If you could specifically move to that time frame, and we're going to be there in a count of 5, 4, 3, halfway there, 2, almost there, and 1. Where are you now? What is taking place in this time frame, please?
There's a war going on. There's big explosions.
Is this the same life that you were in previously, or is this far into the future?
No, this is not so long ago. I think it's about, I don't know. But
I mean,
I'm dressed like I'm in the military.
so you're a different person altogether then.
Yes.
And you say there's a war going on. What type of war? What type of weapons are being used? And who's fighting?
It's very confusing because there are so many different entities involved in this.
Understood.
And I'm trying to get some intelligence for the group I'm with.
I'd like you to take a long, slow, deep breath. Inhale deeply. And as you inhale, relaxation moving through your body, and you feel the confusion going away and clarity coming into play with every breath you take. And before you say anything else, I'd just like for you to look at your hands and your body and tell me what type of entity are you in this place.
Oh, I think I'm an extraterrestrial.
Very good. I had a feeling, that's why I asked. And just to describe yourself before we get to the other details.
I'm sent here from a council that decided that we have to get rid of the Draconians on this planet that are causing so much trouble for the humanity, and they are in cahoots with the governments on different countries trying to get benefits, but they are just going to be betrayed and not going to receive what I think they're going to receive. They are just after power. They are just after to be the ruling elites for the masses, for their own sake, for their own benefits.
Understood.
And the council had decided now that it's time to stop this. It's affecting not only your planet, it's affecting all of the galaxy, and many things resonating in that frequency, that vibrating on this planet, and that's not a good thing. So there's been a decision that we should transport them away from here.
Deport them. What time frame would you believe that you're in terms, is it in what time frame? What year?
I'm not sure.
Okay, very good. And compared to the last time frame that you were in, how many more years? You were like 4,700 years back. How many?
I think this is maybe 1,000 years ago.
Oh, very good. So the decision has been made, and the particular council that has given the decree or had made the decision, do you know which particular council this was?
It's the Council of Nine from the Orion. They are they got this particular task to clear out all the hostility for making possible to a transition to not so dense dimension.
Very good. So 1,000 years ago, this deportation began.
Yes, and they are struggling to hold on, but it's futile because we have the whole universe behind us in a big collective unity. And we are going to transport them to another dimension where they can receive treatment. But some of them are going to be extinct.
So you still say this was 1,000 years ago, or is it in the year in 2000 and something? I say after the birth of Christ.
I think it's in around that area of time.
And what type of entity are you? Look at yourself. What type of form do you hold? Are you three-dimensional or?
No, I manifested some in this density to be able to perform my duty.
So you have a three-dimensional form. You have a body that's your
I'm very muscular and strong.
human body.
Almost, yes.
What makes you a little different or almost human?
I don't have 5 fingers.
Oh, very good. So literally, literally physically manifest on the planet, 3D bodies that are helping with this exodus of these negative.
Yes, there have been so many different races here using the variety of
Methods.
the variety of living energies on this planet. They're using it to trying to make their species a stronger one in one way. They are envious of the emotions that humans hold because they are not having that anymore.
Okay. So you said there's been a variety of, were you trying to say the word manipulations?
A variety of species that has been here trying to take advantage from your mankind.
Understood. Because
and
of
your planet's resources.
understood.
They have, together with powerful people of the planet, get more and more access to areas of the planet where they can do whatever they want and live however they want. But that is nothing that the Galactic Confederation will allow anymore.
Ah, very good. And so, did those draconians manipulate the human, the Homo sapien DNA strands?
They're making experiment on that, yes. And the small gray one love to do that because they are lacking a soul. And I think they can make a species out of you together with them to create a new species that will be superior in some ways.
And they think that they can actually somehow the Greys gain a soul in that aspect as well?
That is what I hope to gain, yes.
So who is in control? Are the Draconians over these Greys, or are the Greys over the Draconians? How is their relationship? Or just
They have different agenda, but they are working together. Uh, but both of the species just try to use the other ones, and they don't really see that.
understood?
And together with humans that are thinking they're getting some benefits in technology and in war, technology of war.
Yeah,
But
technology for war,
yes, but it's going to be useless.
for weapons. Okay,
Yes,
where
weapons
does
and things to
understand?
control other matter and people and so on.
When you first arrived? What do you mean? What type of explosions were taking place, and what did this skirmish look like?
We are closing up big hollow spaces inside mountains and underground that has been used as they have almost built up a subculture underground, these draconians. And now we are trying to erase all that. We try to erase all the
Bases.
bases, yes,
Very good.
and
And
the
what
traces of all the bases. We're trying to bring back to the original state.
understood? And are these bases under the ocean as well?
They are several of them.
And at this point right now, I've heard that there are only like 125 actual Draconians left, deep, deep, deep in the earth, and the rest have been already deported. And how not I'm not going to ask you how accurate that is right now, but the time frame in which all of these things are happening right now. I'm in linear expression. I'm in 2016 as these deportation is taking place. What year around could you surmise? Can you ascertain what year this process is taking place?
This has been going on up until World War I in your time, and there have been efforts to trying to lingering on for some of the species, and they were in contact with Germany during the Second World War,
Yes.
but they are not having any power left, so they are harmless because their ability has, or we can say that they are transcendent from the Draconians,
Oh,
but
okay.
for every new generation, their power are not
It
with them
diminishes.
anymore. Yeah, it's
Diminishes.
diminished. Yes.
Very good. I'm really happy to have the opportunity to get to this point, and I'm glad we started back from Egypt and moved forward because we'd had sessions before, and uh, some of the information was a little different, but at the same time, a lot the same. You said that there were entities under the water before, and very good.
They are
So,
not there anymore.
okay. So what
They
has happened?
have been, they try to hide in other places in your solar system and try to get away because they still thought that they can conquer it again, but they don't understand that the decree that comes from the source will not stand for that. So
Prime
it's
Creator has
not
made a
possible for
decree.
them to use it.
I'm sorry. You said a decree from Prime Creator. They
Yes.
have to stop. And okay, very
Yeah.
good.
So it came through many different councils that together decided of a strategy to doing this in the most, we can call it humane way for all the species that were involved in this.
Understood. I had um, a question about those who incarnate on planet Earth, and I'm not sure if you have this information. Do I know that they have to come via the 11th dimension first uh, in order to come to the Earth, but do they have to incarnate as Pleiadians before they can take a physical form as an Earthling? Uh,
No, but they come through that dimension just because of what has happened before, not only in your galaxy is going on in many different places. You have to understand that this universe where you are residing in now are very vast, but there are many different universes. But they come through that dimension just to adjust to the right, so to speak, state of mind before they manifest.
Understood, and that makes sense. But that particular place um, in that 11th dimension, as we were speaking, I remember there was a planet and there was a moon, and they were on the moon. Is that
Yes.
particular system the Pleiades system, what we would consider the Pleiades system? They say it was.
You can say it's in the vicinity of Pleiadian system,
Very
but it's
good.
very, very, very big.
Yes, I like to. There's a lot of really valid information that's out there, and I like to, when we have these amazing opportunities, to bring it all together because I don't like it when we're saying one thing and that which sort of almost makes everyone else a liar. And so,
It's
very
just a matter of interpretation and how they perceive things. They are not out there to lie.
absolutely. I'm very thankful for this information. How is Lars's body doing now?
He's fine.
Very good. Um, so,
He's
what?
getting used to this.
Very, very good. And am I still speaking to you in the form, the big muscular body, and you have what, three fingers or and a opposing thumb? What is your form
That that was my manifestation, but I'm just a energy form.
right now? Very good. So I had just a few more questions before I bring Lars out of this. You have my imagination and my inquisitiveness going on. Like if it was a meter, it would be like going bing, 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 bing over 100%. I just had a really quick question about Lyra. Um, did the Draconians have an interaction with the Lyrans before when they first moved into our area of this universe?
Yes.
Very good. Very,
They
very good.
try to they try to get some alliance with different species in that area.
And then they dominated them.
Yes,
That's what I gathered.
yes,
So there are models of ships, and I know you've said this before, around the Earth that are helping with this process that we're going through now.
yes. They are there monitoring what's happening. They are there to help taking care of the big energy inflow. And for the moment, they are also helping turning on, in many of you, turning on new strands of DNA. But they are very, very careful with that because it can be very confusing and strange for many of you. So they are almost cherry picking now who they are helping to turn on. This
Is that
is
because if all of a sudden people start having telepathic communications and seeing entities from higher vibrational densities that they
yes,
might start thinking that they're going crazy or something?
exactly. And that's one part of it. They are going to be very much more empathic. They are going to have telepathic abilities, and but many of them work together with groups on your planet that are aware of what is happening, and they're trying to help others in this transition because it's very overwhelming for many of you. And we are very much aware of that. And that is one thing we're monitoring also.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. And I know that, as you've stated over and over in these sessions, that you are assisting Lars and myself with the work that we're doing. And I just want to let everyone know who's listening that we will continue to do this. And of course, we're using my method as opposed to the method I used to use. And
You are two of the people we're turning on, so to speak. We're turning you on, and you can see it in the way how your changes in perception of your surroundings and your ability to read others' wishes, others' feelings
intentions.
and intention. Yes,
Sorry.
you're going to be a very fine-tuned, empathic people.
Well, I'm excited, and we're excited every day. We're going to bring Lars out of this state here. And I'd just like to say once again, we are very grateful for the opportunity that we have to come together in this way. I know that everyone who listens to this particular piece is going to be blown away because I'm a little blown away. Um, they always just seem to get better and better. And
We are so grateful to be able to give you these messages, and the ones of you listening into this, we hope you are resonating and are ready for the changes that is taking place. But you will also understand that you can and have a free will. We are not forcing anyone to go into anything, and all changes is coming from within you. There is no entities from outside that is coming in and point fingers what you should do. It's always going to come out of your inner experience and knowledge you have with you and had for many lifetimes. Many lifetimes.
Thank you very much. We are in major gratitude for the armadas of our space families and our higher dimensional and interdimensional families who are helping us through this transition. And we are collectively coming together, and it's the intent of, I know everyone who listens to this, whether they know it or just, even if it's just innately, um, we are appreciative and we like to thank you. And I'd like for Lars to take a long, slow, deep breath. Inhale deeply. And as you do, as you feel the relaxation moving through your body, as you move away from this scene, with much love and thanks.
Late afternoon.
And so I guess that they would be amongst the predators as well.
Yes, but they collect a lot of things out of nature, fruits, vegetables, and seeds.
And as you look, does it look like there's anywhere where they may possibly even grow crops or anything to that effect? Gardens or?
Not really, but there is a spot behind the little village where it seems like they have been growing something. It's bare dirt and no grass there.
Okay. And do they have any animals there with them in this space?
No, I can see them.
No. Okay. No horses or?
No horses.
Very good.
There's something in the edge of the forest that seems like I think they are reindeers there. Maybe they are connected to this village. Reindeer is a little herd, and they are surrounded by a fence. They made a fence out of just some trees. So they have a herd of reindeers there. It's about 10, 11, 12. It's 14 reindeers.
So it's probably what their huts are made of, possibly their clothing, and maybe even something they feed on as well.
Yes. I think they use them to transport things also, because they have some drugs they can attach to the reindeers, so they can drag some. I think they use them for power to drag heavy things.
Understood. So they've been domesticated of.
I think so, because they two children standing there feeding them with fresh grass and apples.
Excellent. And as you're flying around, there's something that you're supposed to connect with there, someone or something. And I want you to just tell me how you feel as you're soaring and take me where you naturally would go to make this connection.
They see me and they acknowledge me, and the children look at me and are smiling and very happy.
Ah, very good.
There's some sort of a table I made. I can land on.
Okay, very good. And I want to see what their reaction to you is uh, when you land. But if it seems like they're going to hunt you or something, I want you to just magically be as high in the air as you possibly could be in safety.
No, I don't feel any hostility. I only feel that they are happy that I'm there.
Oh, very good. And as you've landed, what happens then?
The women started to chant and sing. They sing.
What does it sound like? Can you mimic it? Any of it?
Hi, 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 hi. They're looking at me and smiling. They recognize me. They're talking to me.
How do you feel as they recognize you, as they acknowledge you?
It feels like they have very big respect for me. That I am important to them.
And as they're communicating with you, what are they saying? What do you sense that they're communicating?
It's like they're sending a lot of prayers. They prayers to the past spirits. They know that I can connect to their past loved one. So I am a messenger for them. I come with greetings for them. I come with love to them.
Is there any one in particular of this group of women that will channel your information to the rest, or do they all seem to receive it?
No, there's a very old man coming forward.
Oh,
I
beautiful.
sit down just in front of this little table where I'm standing. He sits with his legs crossed and he put forward his hands and he just hold his hands in front of him, showing his palms of the hands for me. It's a way to say that he wants to talk to me.
Oh, very good. And go ahead and do what you would naturally do and tell me how this communication takes place and if you feel a message coming on to share with them. And take a long, slow, deep breath. Inhale deeply. Make the connection as gently as you can.
He asked me a question of harmony, but there can be some violence when the predator comes in, as they do from time to time.
And what is the predator in this space?
Wolves and bears.
Oh, very good.
Mostly wolves.
And so do you know where you are? Are you on the earth?
Yes.
Are you same vibrational density as we are here in the third dimension? Do you know?
No, I don't know, but it feels different because we are all aware of that we are connected, all the animals.
I believe all animals, even here and now, know that they're connected.
Yes.
It's just humans who have the problem.
Yes.
So let's find this settlement then, please.
Yes, I'm arriving there.
And as you arrive, I'd like you to tell me what the settlement looks like, how primitive or how advanced, whatever
It's,
you can.
it's rather primitive. It's like it's. I don't think they are Indians, but they live almost like Indians in primitive huts, but they look like Inuits, Eskimos.
Ah, Eskimos.
Yes,
You say Eskimos because is there snow and ice there, or
just on the mountain top, but they seems very exposed for the elements, and the skins are very tough and I don't know.
how are the you say leathery, huh?
Yes, exactly.
And what are the huts shaped like? Are they well? I'll just
It's
let you.
almost like that kind of teepees, but they are not so very tall. They're a little smaller, but they are poles, raised poles that are covered with hides. So it's like a teepee.
Ah, very good. And you see men, women, and children.
Yes,
And what type of activities are they performing?
they are they're cooking outside several of their teepees or their tents, and they have a big fire in the center. They have it also for be able to see in the evening.
So, what time of day is it right about now?
It's getting darker, so I think it's late,
Beautiful.
flowing rapidly, but not. It's not rapid. It's just very fast flowing because it's a slope here in the valley.
And how is the river? Is it a young river? Is it very curvy, or is it look like it's just going straight? Is it?
No, it's a little bit curvy, long sweeping curves,
Oh, very nice.
very clear, crystal clear water, almost turquoise in the color. And it's all kind of life surrounding this water.
Beautiful. And do you see any human beings?
I think there is a settlement of humans further down this valley.
Very nice. I'd like you to go ahead and travel in that direction. And I'd like to see what these human beings or what type of life they're living in this place. It sounds like paradise.
I'm diving down and just soaring a little bit above the water. I see myself flying in the reflection from the water.
How's that?
Oh, it's nice. I'm really fast. And now I'm lifting up again. Oh, it's a nice feeling. I can do whatever I want here.
Pure freedom, huh?
Yes.
Do you see any other birds or anything in the air as you're flying?
Yes, I see a flock of geese eating grass beside the river. I can see small birds. I hear the birds chirping. And I can see a lot of animal together, buffaloes and elks just mixed up in a big herd.
Ah, interesting.
It's almost like we can connect. We are all very old. A very old place.
When you say very old, linearly, how old would you think an Earth time, an our Earth time?
Thousands of years ago. Thousands of years.
And so that means, do you feel like you've been incarnated in that particular body for thousands of years, or this they have just been in that space for that long, or in this place for that long?
It's been untouched from exploration and all is living in.
Where are you?
I'm high up on a cliff, mountain overlooking a valley.
Beautiful. And I want you to just look down, and what are you standing on?
It's like a shelf almost on the top of the mountain.
Very nice. And look at your form down at your feet and your body. What do you look like?
I'm a bird.
Oh, very nicely. And just hold your wings in front of you. Just, and what type of bird, or what color are your feathers?
Or black, brown, and very shiny.
Beautiful. And I want you to look behind you, and there is a beautiful reflection. It's magical, but I want you to look at yourself and tell me what type of bird do you think you are?
I'm a big owl. Very big owl.
Very good. And let's just go ahead and face the other direction, overlooking the valley below. And I want you to take off and tell me how you feel.
Oh, I just soar effortless out over the valley, just floating up the upwinds that blowing up off the surface of the mountain.
Ah, beautiful.
I'm high up over the treetops, but I can see everything that's happened down there.
And what do you see down there below you? Describe everything, please.
It's a valley between two mountain ridges. There's a river floating through the entire length of the valley, and there are forests, but it's open space beside of the river, grassy plains. There's a lot of animals, big elks, mooses. I see bears, and I think it's a pack of wolves up in the distance.
Oh, very nice. And as you look and you see all of these different type of animals here in this beautiful place, they're all in different separate areas, correct?
Yes.
And can you see any water or lakes or any type of water below you?
It's a river.